You're looking at the genus Salvia. Salvia is one of the mints in the family Lamiaceae, and it's a very, very important, strong family. A lot of the herbs that we use in culinary or in scenting are in that family, and it has certain characteristics which are very strong, which uh, apply to the thing and carry through, and they're not always folio, although they are. The basic shape of the flower is what's known as bilabiate, two-lipped. There's a lower lip down here, and then it's an irregular flower. It has a calyx of, it should be five, made of five sepals, but it's not always evident. A lot of these get fused together, and again the calyx is hirsute. There's all hairy, and then what you see here is very important. If you, I don't know whether you can notice with these stems, but the stems are square in cross section, and you can see basically that they have leaves which are opposite. There's leaves which are coming from inside, but basically these are opposite. Here, this one is maybe a little bit simpler. You can see here the two flower, the calyxes are opposite, and they are opposite what's known as opposite decussate, because they're 90 degrees out of sync with each other. As they approach, they go from one to the other. It's 90 degrees, and so it's 90 degrees. So this is opposite decussate with square stems and kind of swollen nodes, so that you can identify this family by those characteristics, and also the fact that you have the bilabiate flowers. Okay, now this is, I say, salvia, and has some special characteristics. I'm going to take this part. I don't know whether you can see this very clearly. The lower lip, or there maybe, the lower lip has three lobes. Down here, 1, 2, 3, and the upper lip has two lobes. And the upper lip is where the reproductive organs are. So you can see that, and there's two lips. So and then what happens here is very interesting. Okay, I'm going to take off. This is called a gullet, incidentally, because when they have the reproductive organ in the upper petals. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of these upper two petals, and then here you have the style with can you see? I'll get this out of the way. The style has two stigma arms at the end, and you can see that it's kind of it's got it's somewhat hairy along the line. So that's the style. But what I wanted you to notice particularly is the way that the stamens are arranged. Basically, there are two stamens, right? And what's interesting is, here, let's see if I can, it's a beautiful example of it. You see they're attached to the inside of the corolla tube over here. That's the filament. And here's the anther sacs. These are the vital and the use of, but down here, the anther sac over here, they're sterile. So basic, and what you're seeing here is what they call connective. So that basically what you've got, here's the filament, and the filament acts like a fulcrum, so that rocks back and forth as the insect moves. So it gets da-da-da. So those are the two, stamen, the stamens, which are really quite distinctive. Now, what I'm going to do is take this petal, off completely, move it down there for you so you can still see it right there. Okay, here is the style, and so, what did I do? I lost, the style came off. It wasn't attached to any of that. That was just the corolla there. But I want you to see what the ovary looks like. Can you yes, right down in that center there. The ovary is actually 4 half carpels, and they develop into something called nutlets. And in the center of there, that's come off basically, but the style was attached right there. It's called gynobasic, and it was attached right in the center of those 4 half carpels that lie in there, and they're going to become the fruit when that gets fertilized. And 4 little nutlets, and in the case of the mints, in the case of Lamiaceae, the calyx tends to be persistent. So after the corolla falls off or goes away, see, you can go in a unit, taking with it the stamens, and then what's left, and the style too, and what's left inside of these calyxes are the 4 little half carpels, which become the nutlets in this particular family. So that's, as much as we'll look at it more detail, but that gives you a sense of what they are like. That's the mints.